At 2 a.m., Amara stood in front of her mirror again, not to admire herself, not to take pictures, just to stare. Her oversized shirt hid most of her body, but not the disappointment in her eyes. Earlier that week, she promised herself this time would be different. Again, a new diet, a new motivation speech, a new Monday reset. But 4 days later, she was already back on the couch eating snacks she said she'd avoid. And the worst part wasn't the food. It was the guilt after. Because deep down, Amara wasn't just losing a battle with weight, she was losing trust in herself. Every failed attempt made her feel weaker. Every restart felt more embarrassing. So eventually, she stopped telling people she wanted to lose weight. She carried the struggle privately, quietly, like most people do. But one day something changed. Not dramatically, no gym membership, no 30-day challenge, no New Year, New Me speech. It started with something painfully small. One morning, instead of skipping breakfast and overeating later, she simply drank water first. That was it. The next day, she took a short walk while listening to music. 5 minutes, nothing impressive. But for the first time in a long time, the goal wasn't perfection, it was repetition. And slowly, Amara started noticing something strange. The tiny habits felt easier to repeat than the extreme plans, so she kept going. She stopped trying to change her whole life overnight. Instead, she focused on making healthy actions easier. She placed fruit where junk food used to be. She slept earlier. She stopped insulting herself every time she made mistakes. And little by little, the girl who once believed she lacked discipline started becoming someone more consistent, not because motivation suddenly appeared, but because the habits became smaller, simpler, less overwhelming. That's when Amara finally understood something most people never realize. Big transformations usually begin invisibly, quietly, in habits nobody celebrates. Because discipline isn't born during massive moments, it's built during tiny decisions repeated daily. And the truth is, most people fail because they depend entirely on motivation. But motivation disappears. Stress happens, bad days happen, life happens. Small habits survive those moments because they don't demand perfection, they only demand consistency. If this story feels familiar, subscribe to TheMindsLab. This channel isn't about punishing workouts or impossible standards, it's about rebuilding the mind first, so lasting change finally becomes possible. Months later, Amara still wasn't perfect. She still had difficult days, but something inside her changed. She no longer saw herself as the girl who always quits. And honestly, that mindset shift mattered more than the number on the scale. Because once someone starts believing change is possible, everything else slowly follows. The confidence, the discipline, the healthier choices, the consistency. All built from tiny habits that once seemed too small to matter. And if there's one thing Amara wishes she understood earlier, it's this. Big wins rarely start big. They start quietly, with one small decision repeated long enough to change a life. And if staying consistent feels impossible sometimes, watch the next video on this channel. It'll show why motivation keeps disappearing and how to finally stop starting over.